Good morning, Gate City Rotary. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing today?
Wonderful.
Good. All right, so this morning we have Howard with our invitation pledge before we test.
He's out on vacation.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for the friends and fellowship that Rotary provides us. Please help us to receive this message today with open hearts and minds. Help us make our community a better place. Please take the enormous talents that are in this room and help us to make and achieve our goals for 2014. We ask these things in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
of things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We're going to start a Rotary cheer.
We used to do that at Cape Fear Rotary Village. At the end, we did Rotary.
You go Rotary?
Yeah.
Go Rotary.
What's your moment?
Oh, meeting you, Ralph.
Yeah.
It was, had to be my life.
Good answer.
Actually, when Ralph was recruiting me to do the invitation, he said, and you can do whatever Rotary moment, perhaps, you met one of the best friends that happens to be one of your neighbors, that lives right across the street. And I said, Danny Farley?
Let's see, Sergeant at Arms report.
Okay, we have, we're kind of slack today. Only 29 of us here today, so we're missing some folks. We got, we got Julia Fernando, who's a guest of Emily.
Right, so many of you have met Julia, but she's an intern
got,
now at CCL.
Gail Fritz over here, who's a guest of Rob.
Actually, I guess the Max.
Max?
They're
Okay.
acquaintances,
Right.
and she knows Emily.
I was going to say, she could be my guest.
Are you trying to distance yourself, Rob? Emily, bring Gail, please. Let's go, Fritz, my good friend.
I'm just glad Rob showed up, though.
Oh, he wasn't gonna. Because I told her, I said I was gonna say Rob Midget went here, we're gonna go Bueller. And then we got Deborah Friedman from Summit, back there. Is that all right?
All right. Birthdays and anniversaries.
I got that for you today, Emily. So we have a birthday this week, the Honorable Tom Sears. It's not on here, but Bobby Christensen was yesterday.
Wow, Bobby.
Yeah, so we said that last week. So Ralph, Wendy has a birthday this week.
She had one last week, yeah, 9/11.
Okay, that's not what it says here. So, Mike Slane here today, this is his 13th year in Rotary. So congratulations to Mike, and we have 2 wedding anniversaries, this is important to know. John, not here today, and Hal. Maybe we should call them. So, John and Kathy have been married 32 years. I'm not sure about Hal and Gail, but we'll give them a heads up.
Thank you. So, and a quick update on Brian Kaiser and his son. So his son David did make it home from the hospital yesterday, but Brian needed to spell his wife this morning. She'd been at the hospital the whole time, so needed a little break this morning. But Brian will be back next week, and everything's fine with David, so that's good to hear. And so the football pool, so I don't forget it this time.
I'm not either, but I was 0.
Got the football pool.
There were a couple of upsets last week. Dale, Wiggles, Justice, Steve, Rob, Jonathan, James Pegram all picked UVA to beat Louisville. That's pretty impressive because I sure did. And, you know, that's a one-time thing. Baby, Danny Farley, where are you?
Not here.
Not here? That's too bad. You only got 8. And how they, you flip a coin. So there's 21 games. 10 of them you gotta get right. At any rate, Bobby thinks that's hilarious, but he only got 6. A new low. Honorable mentions last week with 13. Jonathan, Rob, and Mike. But I don't think he's here. Chuck Langdon, she's got 15. Okay. All you guys from ECU, raise your hand. Who went to ECU? Okay. How many of you guys picked ECU? What?
That was one of the ones.
Actually,
6 times.
there were 2 people that picked ECU, Chuck and Rob. And Rob sent me his deal via email because he couldn't finish it in time. He was just thinking so hard. And at the top it said, 0 to hero, you'll see. And you know what? 13.
Oh, Bow to me.
0 to hero, that's the truth. He gets a sweatshirt, we're perfect sweatshirt weather. We're Lewis Storage. Good prize. There you go, buddy. Congratulations. Good job. Sheets are on the table, fill them out.
All right. So announcements, so fundraiser.
Fundraiser. Erica, you want to talk about tickets, or you get somebody another mouthful?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So as you all know, we need to get tickets for the Party with a Purpose. We made it absolutely easy for you. I sent an email, I guess about 2 weeks ago now, that has a link that you can click on and go sign up to get as many tickets as you need for Party for a Purpose, and it'll actually be billed to your next billing cycle. So if you would please go ahead and get yourself a ticket. We only have 2 people that have purchased tickets already. So I hope you guys are planning to party.
Could you put it out again? A couple haven't gotten it.
I will be happy to send that out again today for you guys. All right? Thank you.
All right, raffle ticket sales, raffle ticket sales. Who's out there selling? Cheryl, I haven't heard anything from you. Come on, I used you as my shining example.
Several corporate sponsorships.
All right, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, and that actually is selling raffle tickets because they get what, 4 or something with it. Yeah. All right, so we have a few people that have sold all of them. Chuck Langdon, he sold all his. Jack Reynolds sold all his. Tom Sears walked in today. He said he sold all his. Dan's still the leader at 40, and nobody's nipping at his heels yet. So we got to get out there and sell these guys. I do appreciate everybody bringing them in as you sell them. I think that gives us a good indication instead of waiting until the last week, because we really want to get rid of all these. If we get rid of all of them, it's 30 grand for the club. So keep selling them.
Show you some sponsors.
Corporate sponsorships, we're up to what, Dan, 15,000?
16.5.
16.5, but that's not meeting Dan's goal, I'm sorry, everybody. So we still need a few more corporate sponsors to reach his goal of what, 18 or 20?
We're looking for 23,000.
Keep raising it. So come to me if you'd like to be more.
Okay, so Steve Brennan, we got a lot coming up this fall.
Oh, yeah. So for those of you, we're just going to put it out there. For those of you that remember a couple months ago we did a street sweep. That was great. This is Big Sweep this weekend, so it is different. I know there's been a little bit of confusion. I've gotten a few emails, and so that's okay. But Big Sweep is this weekend. Their sign up, it has been already sent out. It's going to be very easy though. We've got a really great location over by, where did I say, Coronado, and the park there. We're going to meet at 9 o'clock. If somebody wants to bring donuts and juice, that'd be great. We can hang out for a few minutes there, but go over a couple safety things. We can pick up garbage for about an hour, hour and a half or so. Bring it over to the drop-off site if you want to stay for pizza. Technically, it's too late, but I put in a couple there, and I think we'll be okay if anybody wants to go get pizza from 11 to 12. That's it. It's very, very easy. It's a lot of fun. Great time to really get some great experiences with people. That's this weekend. So 9 o'clock Saturday. A couple weekends later, October 3rd and 4th is, and I have not sent out the sign-up genius for this yet, because again, I just did not, it's so close, I didn't want to get it confusing, but it is the Project Rebuild. And I'm going over there next week to actually look at the house. It's going to be a very straight job as far as the roof. It's just a very simple two-sided roof. They've got the shingle jack this year, and so it's not going to have to lift any shingles, Danny, like last year on your shoulder up the ladder and everything. It's all going to be easy. And if we can knock it out that first weekend, then we're free for pig stock. And they really believe that that's not going to be a problem. Very simple, straightforward roof. So that sign up will be coming out probably this weekend. I just didn't want to get it too confusing with everything happening at the same time. And then plenty of other stuff right after that, but we won't go for today.
Didn't you say there's a leak in the
That's
ceiling? Didn't you say there's a leak in the ceiling because it could be a roof? We haven't done the roof yet. We didn't have to replace the deck.
Yeah, they said at this point, they don't think there's any decking that's going to have to be replaced.
I'll be shocked.
But, but with that said, we haven't pulled off the.
I haven't been up there to weight test it yet, Tom, but I'm going.
Chip and I put more holes in the last room than we started.
All right, so along with all of our club projects, we also have pig stock coming up, so.
Yeah, we have a fun event coming up. We had a fun event last Sunday at my house, and I put an open invitation out, and we had quite a few Rotarians, and in fact, we managed to eat just over 30 pounds of barbecue Sunday night. There were no leftovers.
5 of us.
Yeah. It was good barbecue. Let's just say it was good barbecue. So we cooked all day. Your pig stock Hunka Burn and Rub team, including Dr. Hoole, Steve Wertz, Dale Hambone Hopkins, Sean and his pet Pig Bernie were there. We had a great turnout just for a fun cook, and we had an absolute blast. We're going to do a practice cook on the 27th, Saturday, and I don't want to confuse anybody with all the stuff that's going on, but that's going to be a full-blown 4 Boston butts and a secret weapon that we're bringing. We're going to need a lot of people to come out and eat. I think we probably ought to make that like a social event or whatever for the club. But then October 11th, we need some turnout. I stumbled into a board meeting of Airport Rotary last night, just by accident, and they were telling me that they made it a club event. Pig stock is a club event. I understand Summit.
Same. Guilford is not having a meeting that week, and I believe that Guilford is paying for all of their members to come to pig stock.
Right. So
billboards went up this week.
So we need to sell some tickets to pig stock. Bring our friends. I think we just get a good turnout from the club and get some friends to come. Great. Carrie's company, Rent a Home. They're making it their company event for the month. They do an event every month. So that should be 20-some people that we get. I think if we can get 75 to 100 people to come out.
I will not be able to live in the neighborhood anymore.
Yeah. But we won everything last year thanks to the meticulous management of Dr. Emily Hoole on the wash tubs there.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce Hoole over there. That's exactly right. You're going to get me kicked, I'm afraid. And she's got the shoes on for it. But anyway, we had a blast. It's going to be fun. Please put October 11th. That's the main thing. Everything else will just be a freebie. But we need to turn out on the 11th, and it's for a good cause, children of Vietnam. So we're going to do our best to win all the stuff again. Thank you.
And did I see something about a link to be able to?
Yeah, there's a Google sign up. I'll send it out again. So we're going to do the tickets the same way. You can just specify how many tickets you want, and it'll get billed to your account.
You're going to have a link for directions how to get there?
I don't, but I'll add. That's easy to add. I'll put the address on everything. So
Thank you.
We're just concerned that you buy tickets. We're not really.
We want your vote. We need you there. We need you there.
All right, so again, very, very busy next couple of months, so Saturday, big sweep.
We should have 100% attendance now.
I know, and
September,
in a couple
October.
weeks after that, we got Project Rebuild, we have Pit Stock, we got fundraiser, so.
Foundation banquet.
Foundation banquet. You want to say something about that?
Wow.
Dave?
Huh?
You want to say something?
Actually, that's, I think you all know John Germ, who is the president nominee for Rotary International, will be here November 6th. We're at the Corey Convention Center. And the way it's going to work this year, Cookie's in charge of it, Cookie Billings, which she does a great job. First come, first serve. So we really, as a club, need to decide how many's going. You get preferred seating at the event. So we need to get our list together really soon to send it in for that. So it's going to be a great evening.
Great. All right, Happy Dollars.
All right, Happy Dollars.
I got one though.
Who's got Walt, go ahead.
It's a happy and a sad dollar. The boy graduated from Elon in May, which was, that's good, 4 years, and then he got a job, so that's. Bad news is it's in Denver, Colorado. So I actually drove him there in his car last Friday, and we, got it.
Did you bring back any souvenirs? Medicinal purpose.
His job is not running a pot dispensary. I will tell you that driving around in Denver, the smell. Get the money. I'm not kidding. I mean, just driving down the street, you'll get little wafts. If I walk down 16th Street Mall. Yeah, it's out there. It's not like they're hiding in little cubby holes. Dark alleys. It's out there. And everywhere you go, it's a green sign, now serving 21 and over. So there you go. I guess we'll see, right?
Katie had a tennis match yesterday. She really played well. Her service was great on. And after she came home last night, I said, "You really did well." She said, "I got 3 donuts." I said, "Well, what do you get donuts for?" She goes, "Every time I hit a girl, the coach gives me a donut."
I'm teaching to back away from that. Chip, I see y'all. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw what's left of that $5 bill there. Drove to California to Lake Tahoe to support Rebecca Barley as crew for her race. Know what you're in for the next time you volunteer for that. I thought it was just going to be a little jaunt around the lake, no problem. There was very little sleep by anybody, particularly Rebecca, from 10 o'clock Friday morning, which we were up extremely early before that. But 2 film crews, following Rebecca, following Tanya Dozier, who's actually in the movie that she's making. Wilder flew out Friday night, got there just in time for them to kick off and start their. Rebecca ran 60 miles from 10 o'clock Friday until about 6 o'clock Saturday morning, slept 2 hours, and then her pacers, Wilder and Cindy Barber from Star Mountain Country Club, she's head of fitness over there, came in and paced her. Wilder picked up that afternoon about 3 o'clock, ran a total of about 21 miles that night in the Sierra Nevada on a trail with a headlight. They were calling him the Sierra Soul Train because he's playing beach music loud enough out of his headphones so they can hear it. Rebecca picked up from 53rd place to 38th place that night. Give you some idea of how Wilder ran. So he did. I'm just so proud of him. He ran a total of 50 miles pacing. I had no idea how many miles I drove on the truck, but it was 6,200 miles, in and out. So, and it was like a bomb went off from the minute the race started. You were unpacking stuff and getting ready for your runner to come in. You're taking care of everything she needs so she can get back on the trail. Complete life support, food, water, everything, and then boom, she's back on the trail. You let everything up and go try and find, it's like a scavenger hunt. Go find the next spot, and then you lay everything out. And then boom. So it was quite the experience. We had a lot of fun. My truck was pretty well painted up. You could tell that we were supporting the Rotary. In fact, I became the Rotary guy with my hat and had my hat, t-shirts, and all that. So we made it known we were Rotarians out there doing stuff, and we did a good job. We helped other teams. I'm a little competitive, as y'all know. They one little vignette. They found everybody out there liked to eat these things called Stinger waffles. And they're like $4 a package, and they're like 2 little cookies they've got honey and all this stuff in them, and we realized there was a shortage of Stinger waffles sometime in the mid part of the third day. So we sent the crews out. We bought up every Stinger waffle in Lake Tahoe in a 30-mile radius, and if we liked the other team, we'd lend them some.
I have one.
Chip, I'm sensing that that although there's an age difference, Wilder and Rebecca, I think you might want to work on that.
Be careful about that. Actually, is what
when I saw that, I thought that's
we don't want him corrupting her, right?
Thank you. If you did get a chance to go by Chip's house last Sunday, you missed a treat. I was able to check off something on my bucket list that had been there forever. I tell you about it, but you know, the camera's right there. I'm just saying, if you are looking for some good barbecue that I didn't get to taste, but I did work really hard moving it. Emily, I kind of helped with the moving of the buckets. You definitely got to show up next week. Is it next week?
27th.
The 27th. To experience it. It is an experience hanging out with Chip.
Yeah, we're going to help eating all that barbecue.
Yes, I'll be there.
Dr. Mock.
What was your bucket list thing?
Well, on Monday, Tanya Rivera used to get an interview with me. We talked about changes in the seasons and how that affects dogs, and it was a lot of fun. She's a great person, and I don't know, it's aired like 5:30 when everybody's driving home, so I think 4 people saw it, and I included my mom, but anyway, she was great. It was a lot of fun.
He did a great job.
Boy, you would think there's enough going on in the news cycle how the seasons affect dogs. This is real.
Oh, come on.
Everybody loves their dog.
We got dog business today, too.
I know it's your life, Mike. It's all right. Well, I sort of wish Robbie was here. Grandma Lewis kind of got in trouble. She got caught shoplifting. And they went to court, and the judge said, you know, why'd you steal that can of peaches? She said, well, I was hungry. He said, well, and I don't know if they do this other places, but he said, how many peaches were in the can? She said, 6. He said, all right, I sent you to 6 days in jail. And so Grandpappy, you know, he said, Judge, you mind if I say something on my wife's behalf? He said, no. He said, she also stole a can of peas. Big can.
All right, so I'm very excited for our program this morning. Dan's going to introduce it, but I haven't heard from them in a while, and there have been lots of changes. So
Terrific. Sarah, we had Sarah Ray here from arcBarks, and my Newfoundland said that I needed to pick up every cookie that was left on the table. Sarah is the director of arcBarks Dog Treat Company, a bakery that provides job training to adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. She has guided the startup from baking a few dozen treats a week, producing 2,000 boxes monthly, supplying grocery giants like the Fresh Market and Lowe's Food across North and South Carolina. Sarah demonstrates great humanity and an instant affinity for working with adults with special needs, who too often are written off as unemployable. Sarah, welcome.
A week after college, I moved to New York City, and my friends let me sleep on their couch, and I hunted for an advertising agency on Madison Avenue that would just scoop me up as part of their creative team. And a month later, I landed my first job as a barista in Queens. So on my first shift at closing time, I am handed a utility bucket and directed off to the bathrooms. And the last thing as I do is I spray down the mirror, and as I wipe it clean, I come face to face with myself. And that was my foreshadowing clue that post-college life wasn't going to be this fairy tale I imagined. But I did finally land that advertising job on Madison Avenue. Not on the creative team, but as an office manager. So I tried to portray the job to my friends like I was more than a secretary, and maybe it wasn't convincing, but it was creative. I wanted more. There was so much I felt like I was capable of doing, but my job description literally only wanted that much of me. And so the more time that passed, the more I started to doubt myself, and I couldn't land the jobs that would challenge me. So my answer? I chased things. Promotions, beautiful clothes in my closet, good hair days, the highest of high heels, and a general appearance that would get me likes on Facebook.
Right.
And I finally had everything I thought I wanted. Everything I thought I needed. And I came up short. So I had a Manhattan meltdown. And I wish that was a cocktail. But it was the unflattering aftermath of a quarter-life crisis. And I fell hard. I'm talking moved back home to my mom's basement in Michigan hard, my ego's fatal blow. And the only thing I felt capable of doing anymore was lying in bed and staring up at the ceiling. And I would will it to answer the only question I cared about anymore. Why aren't I happy? No matter where I've moved or what job I've landed, that question has made it a point to tag along for the ride. So for the last 6 years, I have been clumsily putting myself back together and looking for the answer. And I finally got my first clue when I moved to Greensboro and became the Special Olympics powerlifting coach. Practices meant so much to these athletes. And for some, this 1 hour on Tuesday nights was the only chance they had to get out of the house and be part of their community. And for the first time in my life, it dawned on me to even ask the question, what opportunities do adults with special needs have after they graduate high school? My friend Michael has Down syndrome. And on his graduation day, he's celebrating with his teacher, but she really wants him to understand that this isn't just a party. This is his last day in her classroom. So she explains it to him, and after, he puts his hand on her shoulder and looks her square in the eye and just asked, why? And what do you say? Because you can't say you're off to college. And you can't say because this is the start of your new career. And the truth, well, Michael, you're 22. You aged out of the system. That wasn't good enough. So you go from having friends and opportunities and structure and purpose for 22 years, then nothing. Good luck starting from scratch. And to me, it all sounded a little too familiar. We've all been there, right? We've all been undervalued or stuck. Can we go back to that place just for a second? So what if all of our stories are different? That feeling, it's the same. But what if it wasn't just an employer? Wasn't just a friend or a partner that undervalued us? What if, in large part, the whole world did? The challenge being faced isn't any different, only the scale of it is. So whether we're looking at the opportunities that we deserve to find happiness in our own lives, or we're looking at the opportunities that adults with special needs deserve to find happiness in their lives, it all comes down to this. How do we make the leap from doing only what other people think we're capable of to doing what we're actually capable of? A few years ago, I met an amazing group of adults who are enrolled in a job training program. And the concept is simple. Teach job skills to adults with special needs by making and selling dog treats. It's the vision of Pat Clapp. And she always tells me what's more important than mentioning her name is mentioning that she's a mom. Pat is a mom who wants her son David to have a beautiful life. And for the record, he has told her that is exactly what he has. It also helps to know that Pat is the type of mom who has the courage to celebrate her 80th birthday on a motorcycle. So she takes her idea and she pitches it to the Greensboro chapter of the ARC. And if you're not familiar, the ARC is an international nonprofit devoted to enriching the lives of people with special needs. And the ARC takes a leap of faith on this idea. An arcBarks dog treat company is born in the basement of a church. And when I joined the team, I instantly connected with this group. Why? Well, we were in the same boat, really. I mean, school was out and had been for a long time, and we were all still looking for our way. Our journey has taken us to a full-blown retail bakery where customers can come in and enjoy watching treats being made from scratch, where they can see with their own eyes just how capable the arcBarks chefs truly are. Every aspect of the business is in their capable hands, from using the peanut grinder to the industrial mixer and the ovens. We created an environment that doesn't micromanage or make assumptions about abilities. It encourages these adults to explore their own autonomy and to add value in their own unique way. Where they needed help, I was strong, but where I needed help, they were strong. And because we collaborated, our product made its way from obscurity, literally selling on street corners. And a few years ago, if you remember me in a full chef costume up here talking about a program no one's ever heard of, to selling on major retailers' shelves like the Fresh Market and Lowe's Foods across North and South Carolina. And because we collaborated, we figured out what meaningful work is, both in terms of what it can do for a person and in terms of what it requires of a person. Meaningful work isn't found, it's formed. And in order for it to take place, only 3 things have to happen. 1, be honest with yourself and about yourself. Find out what you want, not what you're supposed to want, not what you're told you want, but what you really want. I found out the hard way that my dreams weren't even mine. They came from outside influences. But my chefs, their dreams come from the inside. Things I am ashamed to say I never considered to be dreams. I considered them foregone conclusions in my life. To be included, to be independent, to have friends, to fall in love. Kelly put it like this: I just want to be a simple, happy person. So be who you are. As I encourage my chefs to accept themselves fully, I had no choice but to start doing the same for myself, or else risk being a complete hypocrite. So I started taking off the makeup and the high heels. And the first time I come into the bakery like this, I overhear one of my chefs say, "Everybody, Sarah has a zit, but it's gonna be okay." And it was. I encourage my chefs to unapologetically be themselves in hopes that the community will celebrate them for it. That is what we built our company culture and our brand on, and that is why all of their signatures are proudly displayed on every box right under their promise to put love in their treats. And that is why our logo is made up of 3 of their proud faces. David, whose mother dreamt of arcBarks, Addie, our fabulous cover girl, and Michael, who asked his teacher why on graduation day. Instead of ignoring the elephant in the room, ride around on it like you're in a parade. Lisa is one of our chefs who's still having a hard time with this, but it's because of her struggle that I respect her efforts so much. When I first met her, she was incredibly closed off and defensive, and so I pushed her to figure out what it was she's trying to protect herself from. And it ends up she's just scared of how people will react to her disability. And even though she's still trying to let go of that fear, it's not as overwhelming anymore. So it's becoming a lot easier to smile, a lot easier to be part of the group, a lot easier to be herself. And for the first time, this beautiful young woman is coming into her own because she's starting to realize that she's enough. 2, need and be needed. When I first started, I thought I was helping by doing everything for my chefs. They depended on me, and I have to admit, it felt good. They made me feel my self-worth again. And that's when it hit me. I was doing them a huge disservice because people need to be needed. But these adults are rarely given that opportunity. So it wasn't until I started letting them help me and help each other and help themselves that all the magic started. Which is great because as the business grew, so did their responsibilities. A few years ago, if I would have asked Danny to do anything other than make treats, he would get really bent out of shape. But he was forced to step out of his comfort zone, and in doing so, he started to enjoy the independence that comes from learning new tasks. And there's this one day I'm going outside to lock up our outdoor bistro tables, and Danny comes up to me and holds out his hand and gives me this, I got it, look. And he goes and he does a better job than I ever did, and I never even showed him how. And he started a cool trend in the bakery. The chefs stopped waiting for me to assign tasks, and they started watching and anticipating and jumping in where they were needed. And I just love looking at these pictures because it's proof that it's working. 3, fail. Failing is a humble reminder that there are possibilities yet to be explored. And if you never fail, the work being done isn't hard enough. Every time one of my chefs tell me, I can't, they're wrong. And even if it takes countless tries, we let them try because they're bound to succeed. And when they do, we raise the bar slightly out of reach again. That's exactly what we did for Jordan. And she transformed. It's hard to believe that Jordan never used to smile for pictures, and now she is the shelf tag at every Lowe's Foods there is. The same girl that hid in the corner on her first day at arcBarks goes out to events like this and works the crowd. And the smallest thing, like making eye contact and offering her handshake, have become the biggest victories. Heck, look at David. When he started at arcBarks, he was 40 pounds overweight, he was showing early signs of dementia, and he was on an oxygen machine. And then he jumped into an environment that let him be himself, that needed him, and that gave him permission to fail, and all those things turned around. So today, he is back to his normal weight, he's as sharp as a tack, and there's no oxygen machine to be found. So I had to ask Pat, can you please ask David what it is about the bakery that he owes all of his improvement to? And he said, Mom, they respect me there. One thing we can count on in the future is that adults with special needs will be a part of it. Imagine if we can make it a meaningful part. And that's not some kind of a favor to them. That is a favor to all of us. The term disabled gets tossed around a lot, but it is not all-encompassing. It's being used in terms of what we happen to value most in our society, and presently, that is the ability to achieve status and make money. But what if we started to celebrate the ability to live in the moment and see the best in each other? Who would be disabled then? These adults have value to bring to the table, and it's value I think we desperately need. I still lie in bed from time to time, staring up at the ceiling, willing it to answer my questions. But these days I ask, why am I so happy? And there's no doubt in my heart, it's because of the wisdom that these adults bring to my life. They have taught me what dreams are worth chasing, and I will spend the rest of my life trying to repay them for that. Thank you. Yes, is there time for questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Questions?
I'm curious, so has any other area replicated this, or are there other arcBarks around?
There are no other arcBarks. There are other the barrier to entry is low. There's a lot of families out there that have adults with special needs, and they're eager to find some meaningful job training. So around the country, there are other dog treat companies. However, where we are unique is the success that we're finding, and I owe a lot of that to Greensboro. There's something very special about this town, and it is by no coincidence that we are in the Fresh Market, Lowe's Foods, and it's kind of on the DL, but I guess not anymore. We just got accepted to Whole Foods, so we'll be launching there this week. Yeah. Thank you.
So, how long does it take you to produce a batch, or how many batches a week, or how much can you produce? How do you do?
We can produce 2,500 boxes a month currently, and the chefs produce about 50 pounds of baked treats a day. And we're looking, yeah, really impressive. And we are only in operation from 9 to 3. So to help serve more people, we are launching an after-school program coming in 2015. If anybody knows any high school students of junior and senior level that are in special education classes looking for job training, we'll be able to produce more that way, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So my email's on all the little packets I gave you. Please send that out, and we're just trying to look for people to help.
Sarah, I know it's a commercial kitchen, and you have to be careful about, bringing an animal to there, but how do you handle when a customer comes by with a dog?
Oh, they're very welcome. And another thing, again, we survive on the grace and favors and goodwill of this community, and so we reached out to an Eagle Scout, and he built us a front end of our store, and he designed it in a way that dogs can come in without compromising the bakery. So they get to come in, the chefs run to the back. Well, Jordan doesn't like dogs, ironically, but we run to the back, we get a freshly baked treat, and they'll have them do tricks, we'll put them on Facebook. And the cool thing too, if anyone's a Facebook user, we've started a conversation with the country. People, we're not the ones just posting on our Facebook. We ship all over the United States, so people will send pictures of their dogs opening their packages, and it's very, very cool. People are excited by what we're trying to do here. Thank you.
Is the business self-sustaining at this point, or do you still need outside funding?
We do need outside funding. As you'll see, the Rotary supports. We've actually received a number of grants from Rotary, and it has helped us buy our materials throughout the years. And what we're trying to do is, within the next calendar year, we are scheduled to break even based on our sales. So, it's been a long journey, but we're still in that, they say new businesses take 3 to 5 years, and if we're hitting it at 3, we're doing decent. So we still have pie in the sky dreams.
I have 2 questions. Where is the retail store, and are there gifts in kind that are applicable to you guys?
Absolutely. We are on Spring Garden between Holden and Chapman, much closer to Holden. Any Dunkin' Donuts fans? We're right across the street from them. So you can come on in, and seriously, you will float out of there feeling like a king or queen. Our chefs have a way of making you feel important. And in terms of in-kind donations, please reach out to me. Sometimes they change. Right now, we're looking, moving into the holiday season, we're looking for a robust business printer right now. So, but there's other things, so you can reach out. Yeah.
Are your chefs compensated?
Right now, it operates because, the way it operates now, and it's somewhat controversial, I'll be open about that. It is an enrollment program. They enroll to be there for job training, because a lot of these adults would be sitting at home otherwise, and it does cost to run the business. Right now, the second we break even, those will start going back into taking back the tuition and then eradicating it. We have labor lawyers on our board because it doesn't matter whether you're doing something that's good and right, is it legal? And sadly, in the state of North Carolina, they're trying to shut down operations that are quote-unquote sheltered workshops. We technically are not that, because our chefs do enroll, and it's open the community. Sheltered workshops they're not inclusive. And the reason I'm passionate about this project is everything we do, from these talks to our open bakery to events, is its inclusion. It's seeing how capable they are. So right now we're battling some laws that are not proactive to the goodwill of this population. You basically have a bell curve in the population. You have adults who are incredibly high functioning, who might have licenses and live in their own apartments, and then you have some that are still living in the institutions, but then you have the majority of the population who's like my friend Jordan here, who needs an opportunity and a place where she can flourish, but we're still living in a capitalist society, so we still have to pay our rent and things like that. So the way I try to explain it is, if it wasn't for the dog treat sales and for the grants and donations, their tuitions would be outrageous. But it's only $4 an hour, and it's $20 a day, and a lot of other programs charge $20 an hour, $100 a day. And families can't afford that, so again, they're sitting at home. So this is a step along the path to hopefully become a best practices employer, and that is when you employ adults with special needs right alongside typical adults, and that is our ultimate dream and our goal. Here's the dance section. I'm just kidding. Also on the side, we brought some boxes. You guys, please take these for free for the support you've given us over the years, and share them with your friends, family, or use them for yourself.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, that's great.
Sure. Ending 201.
Ooh, I got 201. What's the number?
201.
Hey!
Thank Jordan.